on, sending data. Let's do the dance here, sharing dance. Ready, this one here. Morning, everybody. Welcome to New York Live with IT Trader. Alrighty, well, I don't really have much to say right now. We did release that AI branding just last night. That's pretty exciting. And yeah, so we're integrating that into the portal. Gets us a step closer to the release, the actual AIs. But that is the overarching AI that is essentially the analyst that combines all of them together. That's the time series on all charts, all pairs, and all time frames. The polynomial, um, which is pretty interesting. It's technology that we've invented ourselves. Lets us essentially compress our data, visual chart data, into functions on different degrees. And yeah, so it's pretty exciting. But IT, I'm gonna go ahead and let you take over because I'm gonna keep going on my end here. And yeah, thanks very much. See everybody.
All right. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes. Perfect.
Nice.
Um, so give me one sec. Let me share my screen and then making sure that um you can hear me.
That's good.
Share my screen now. There we go.
All right.
Can you see my
Yeah,
screen?
I can see your screen and the music sounds great.
Awesome. Okay. All right, let's start then.
Right.
So welcome everybody to New York session. I hope you're doing well. Today is Wednesday, 12th of February, 2025. Time is flying. 2 days time, it'll be Valentine's Day. I hope everybody, especially the men, hope you've got your gift for your women. Because my wife is on my head.
Uh-oh. Oh, I forgot it already.
My wife is on my head. Last night, she was pissed off because I said no gift for it's Valentine's Day. So I hope you all get your gifts ready for your wives and your girlfriends and your partners. It's in 2 days' time, just a reminder. Thank you. Okay. So dollar index, yesterday we talked about potentially price reversing from this area, right? And we want to pay attention to the 1 hour time frame. I highlighted one down candle over here. And then we happen to basically break it, right? So yesterday during a live session, price was somewhere down here. Okay. Now, I think that is the high of the week, but the CPI news can change everything. So, if they send it up, I'll basically anticipate them rejecting the high again because on the daily, we do have a high and a high. We also have this up candle and a down candle. So I'm anticipating a move to continue going lower with the CPI. Now, if they take it up, I will not be surprised because price can do anything, but based on what I'm seeing, I think it calls for price to be sent lower. Okay, so let's see. I think in 23 minutes time, it will be CPI news. So in 23 minutes time, I'll come back and then we will be observing the rate announcement, and I'll go quiet for at least 5 minutes as usual. Okay, so in 23 minutes time, we come back, watch the CPI, and then I'll go quiet for 5 minutes. Now that means, it's gonna affect basically everything, especially the majors. So I'll actually refrain from giving an idea on the majors. I'll just tell you what I think is going to happen, which is lower prices. And um, if I want to give you an idea, it'll probably be Euro Aussie going for this equal high, and then I think pound did confirm the swing low. So I expect pound to also trade up. If you go onto the daily, I'm sorry, if you go onto the H4, we did have a nice rejection, and then we did break the market structure here. So I expect them to send price up for this high, that high. So we'll see going into that news event in about 23 minutes time or 22 minutes time. I also I did a analysis because I'm trying to get some trade ideas for our members in the portal. I happen to get, I think, Aussie. We did speak about Aussie at the beginning of the week. And I said that, Monday, do not chase this move to the downside. It's not ideal for you to chase it. Also, we had a down candle on the daily over here, okay, which was going to make it extremely hard for price to just continue going down. So I did find a level up in here. That's where I want to anticipate the high of the week. Okay, so this is a breaker on the H4, and on the daily, inside that is where that level is. So I want to anticipate one more move to the upside somewhere up there, and then a rejection. If we lose that level, then I think they might be coming up all the way here. Okay, so if we lose the level that I've marked over there, which comes in at 1.656.30, if we lose that, then I think we'll be coming up here. So there's no need for us to be in the trade. My stop loss needs to be up there. So this is the trade idea that I am proposing on Euro Aussie. It will not, the CPI might not affect this much, so you can wait for price to get there, and then on the 15 minutes time frame, look for a reversal to basically go down. Okay. I also did find another trade idea on EuroCAD. Over here, I have actually shared it on the old the portal for our members. But whilst I was going through price, I realized that this week this pair is supposed to go down, and we happen to go up on Monday, and then Tuesday, and then today being Wednesday. I'm sorry, Monday was a down candle, but it was an inside candle, and then Tuesday and Wednesday. So we do have an up candle over here, which that's what I'm protecting the trade from. And then I'll expect them to go down. First target being this low, and then potentially that low. We might maybe trade into this fair value gap. So I'm not expecting continuation, just this low, and then that's it. First target being the previous week low at 1.47428. Okay. On the H4, this is the up candle prior to this move down. I don't think this is a buy. There's no level in here that I'm expecting them to be buying off from, because we do have this equal low. we do have this equal low over here. Right, we do have that equal low. So I think this is just a pullback and then it'll go down. Now, you can see I did protect myself just a little bit above this high because we do have a fair value gap with this up candle. So if in case they want to do some dirty work, they might run the high and then reject. So that's why I've protected myself a little bit above that high and then expecting a continuation to the downside. Now on the 15 minutes, we did come to that level and see how precise that entry was. They dipped into it and then broke down. Right now, on the 1 hour, they've actually traded through a fair value gap. So I'm pretty convinced that we're not supposed to go up again, which is over here. They've traded through that on the 1 hour. So I'm pretty convinced that we are not supposed to be going up again. Hence, you can see the next candle trade up to this up candle and then reject it. So let's see if we can continue going up. Now with the CPI, anything is possible. I don't rule out like I'm not hardcore, make up your mind and then forget about everything. I'm not like that. I'm open-minded. So if it comes out and it's any higher, no problem. I'll just wait and then find another entry. Okay. But this is our stop loss. So as long as we are protected there, then that's fine. If it stops out, no problem. The move to the downside still remains. I'll still be expecting lower prices, right? Just have to wait for a confirmation and then we look for price to continue going lower, right? So I brought these ones in because obviously we have the CPI and I don't want you to be playing around with the majors. That's why I've brought in the Euro Aussie and then the Euro CAD, right? So yeah, yesterday I spoke about pound New Zealand coming into this up candle on the H4. So if you wanted to scalp, you can get an entry to trade to this candle's low. They did manage to trade through it, so I think that can also trade to this level, yeah, and then maybe a rejection. I'm not really a big fan of pound New Zealand. I would prefer the Euro New Zealand, right? Because we do have that weekly gap that needs to be traded too. And Euro pound is misbehaving. I think it moved back. Last week, Friday, I was talking about, I think it was Thursday, I was talking about how between the 7th of February to I think 23rd of March, we go up. I was expecting them to continue, but they've come back down. So maybe they might be doing the same thing as I showed you last week, right? Which is wait till next week. So maybe they will consolidate and then next week we'll begin the move to the upside, right? So that's why I prefer the euro pairs because it's not moving higher. The pound pairs will actually move higher. Talking about pound pairs, pound Aussie, I think we might trade to this up candle. We have a breaker here, we have a very short block here, you have a gap in front of it. So this will be a nice one to pay attention to when price gets up into that level. Okay. So that's that for the currencies. Let's move on to gold. Gold, I think I spoke about this area. I'm expecting them to retrace to that and then one more push to the upside. On the daily, we did not give any aggressive rejection to come and close below this down candle. We have a down candle here. We have that special candle that I always talk about over here as well. So I'm expecting something to happen when we hit this level. Now, on the H4, it's a fair value gap. Draw it properly. Okay, it's a nice fair value gap. So let's see if this CPI will dip in, reject, and then start going up. It might do it very quick, so you might probably not get a trade on it. But if we happen to dip into it and then reject slowly, not aggressively, but slowly, then you can get a trade to continue going higher. Okay. So it depends on how aggressive the CPI will be. If it's too aggressive, then you never know. They might just dip into it, reject quickly, and then go higher. Or they might just slam it down. And I don't think that might be the case. I don't think they might do something like this. But it's within the realm of possibilities. They can do that because it's CPI. They can do whatever they want to do. But based on price right now, I think it needs to just go up again. If it does this, no problem. We switch to the high time frame and then we re-evaluate price. Okay. So the one you can see they've started one up candle. I think it'll be best on the M15. So they've started one up candle, one down, and we've got about 20 minutes to go, or less than that, 12 minutes to go. So watch in draw this level over here. There. That's the whole area. And then inside that, we do have some nice level here. And then that level there. Yeah, so those are the actual key levels that you want to start paying attention to. Okay. So pay attention to that and that. Those two levels. Price will give us something there. Or they will just trade through it. It doesn't matter anyway because we are not actually trading it. We want to see the reaction off from it and then we can trade. Okay. Crude oil. So crude oil has pulled back. I was not expecting that to happen. I didn't expect that pullback. I was anticipating them to basically print continuous up candles, but we happen to have our first down candle, which is too early for a potential reversal to continue going up. However, it is what it is. So in terms of entries, I think just wait patiently, let them go back above another down candle, and then you can look for entry. I think yesterday I spoke about this gap. If we could have closed above it, then it would have given us more entries, right? But price couldn't close above it and then rejected. It's a strong level, not gonna lie. That's why you saw what happened here. But a close above it now will send price for our ultimate target. For now, just sit patiently. If you already in, I think partial profit was yesterday. Just sit and then let's see if we can get a close above this up candle. Sorry, this down candle. And we can look for continuation or another trade entry. So what I'm trying to say is if we get close like this, then we can get a long with a protection and then continuation. And this might be another partial profit level. Okay. Let's go over to ES. So ES has been playing around for some time. It's not doing much, and it's typical when we do have this kind of news event, CPI rate announcement, and NFP. They happen to keep price in the tight consolidation ahead or prior to the release of that news event, and I'm not surprised they've done that. I'm all for the upside. I still believe price supposed to go up. I don't think we're supposed to come down, right? So I wouldn't recommend taking an entry here for the long because of the CPI. It's risky. If you want to, you can do something like this with your protection below this candle, the low of it. And then this would be gambling, right? Let's gamble and see if price will go up, right? that would be a gamble. But if not, then I'll just sit on my hands. As a professional trader, that's what you do. But if you want to be a retail trader, then you can do this. Right? You gamble that price is gonna go higher. And then if it drops, it stops you out. Hey, just move on. Okay. So that's what I'll be expecting on ES. Let's move on to the cryptos because I want us to come back to um, dollar index in the next 8 minutes. So let's go over to the cryptos and look what's happening. So Ripple, I think I've said it all. This month we might not get much, so you're probably better off just sitting down and waiting for at least a closure in a specific direction. And since last week, Friday, price has not closed anywhere. We've not closed up or down. Okay, so we need the close to be somewhere, whether up or down. That will give us more, I would say, more ideas as to what to do going forward. Without that closure, we don't have anything because it will be very difficult to know where price is gonna go. Obviously, if you're scalping, that's a different ball game. But if you're looking for short term to long term, for now, it's not there. So sit and wait. Let them close maybe above previous day's high, and then we can start looking at stuff. Hype, same thing. Don't do anything with hype. I think we are looking for somewhere down here to do business, buying, or up here to do selling. Nothing has happened yet. Next on the chart is Ethereum. We're gonna skip that because I don't like it and you shouldn't like it either. Bitcoin. So same thing. I was expecting Bitcoin to go up. I think it did trade close to where I was expecting it. It was here, but it did fail to get there. And then yesterday we got the rejection. Looking on the daily on the left, right? It sums up what you're supposed to be doing right now. Just sit on your hands and don't do anything. Maybe by the end of today or tomorrow, it will give a good indication that we'll be coming for the previous week. Because I've already said on the weekly, that's what it's showing, right? So it's two things. It's either we'll come for this high or there's going to be an aggressive candle to attack this low, which I'm all for the opposite. I'm looking for that move to the high, okay? I'm all for the move to the high, but if that fails, then there's going to be an aggressive run for this low. And the reason is when this low rejected this one, it meant price is supposed to go up. So if it's coming down, then it's basically coming for this low and it will do it in an aggressive way. Okay, so let's see the lower time frame. You can see on the H4, they've placed in a nice buying pattern in here, right? With the up and then they move down. So I'm all for the upside. I think we're supposed to. I like the move. It is very, very clean, very aggressive, very elephant in the room. So I would expect them to basically go up. So let's see. This down candle is still there. They've not closed below it. So as long as that exists, we are safe for the higher prices. So let's see. Maybe CPI can. I don't know how much CPI can affect this, but fingers crossed it can push price to go and then break this high. Moving on to Solana. Solana came very close to where my stop loss is for the trade idea. But again, we have a down candle, right? And that down candle is protecting price. So let's see. I think On the H1, I was watching it earlier this morning, and I happened to see a rundown and then the rejection breaking above that high and closing through this fair value gap over here. So I kind of knew that this morning they were going to send price up above that H4 candle. So I was not really worried about where the stop is because it was showing signs that they might not come down there. Just haven't given enough strength. Maybe after this candle closes in the next two and 2 hours 30 minutes, it will lift this fair value gap nicely, so we can start aiming for somewhere up here and then potential to take that high and resume going up based on the weekly profile that I gave. Okay, and then AI16, I think we just had a rejection off from that wick on the daily I spoke about yesterday. It couldn't close above it, which is understandable, again, because he had an up candle here, the gap. That's one of the strongest ICT bearish order blocks. An up candle with a gap or a down candle with a gap. Those are your order blocks that you want to be trading. So I'm not surprised we had that rejection, but I would want to see us resume going up. So maybe it's either we scream up today or they might reaccumulate in here and then we resume going up. Okay, so let's see whether today will be a continuation or it will just be a reaccumulation. Preferably reaccumulation, and then we start going up because we've broken that area and they need to start buying more in order to send price higher. Okay, so we've got about 57 seconds to go for the CPI news. When we come back, then I will basically look at the last one, which is the tool, and we've got a new one which I have to now remember the name. So let's go and observe that, and then we come back in the next 5 minutes. Okay, so let's observe CPI. Okay, we are back again. Ed, can you hear me, Mr. Igor?
I can hear you, yeah.
Okay, cool. So there we go. That's CPI for you. That's what it wants to do. Um, so with that move above this high, we want to see if they can stay above it. Because if they stay above it, then that can change the narrative. But I think it should reject by the end of the day. So we should be rejecting very soon above that high. On the 1 hour time frame or on the 15 minutes time frame, it will start giving a potential reversal patterns. So if you go on to, still a bit early, but we can start looking at it. So that's that high, and we should start getting like a reversal pattern. Let me see on the 1 minute chart. Okay, so if you do have a 1 minute chart, right, you can start watching the 1 minute chart and then start looking into a sell pattern forming above that high. So that high comes in at 108.46. We want to see a sell pattern form above it. And now if we go over here, I didn't want to talk about it during the earlier session, or I'll say the beginning of the session, because there was no point talking about it if they were going to release the news. But this area here, between this candle's high and this candle's low, that is a level that price could still trade to and still be valid to go down. Okay, so this specific area here, between this candle's low, this candle's high, that is still valid for them to trade to it, even though they came very close to it, 1, 2, and failed. That is still valid for them to come back up to that same level and reject and go lower. So I'm not surprised to see them send it up, and then most people are gonna scream and shout, but it is what it is. They can do whatever they want to do. Now all we need is basically the sell pattern to form, and then we can start looking for lower prices. Now watch watch this down candle here. It has a fair value gap in front of it. If we can lose it, then they'll go up, or I'm sorry, we go down, or they will use this and then take it up and then break it like this. Then we start coming back down again. So just be patient. I think usually after the news event, we do have minimum 15 to 30 minutes for price to settle down. But sometimes it might come in a form of a shock to most traders. So you need price to settle down before they can start making decisions. And that will be between the 15 to 30 minutes time window. Okay. If you look at gold, gold has traded to those two, I think the second one, it traded to the second level, and then we're seeing a rejection. Now on the lower time frame, you can see we have this up and then this move down. So I think maybe we can spend some time on gold and then see if we can break this. Once we're here, we can take some trade idea on that. So watch this up candle. If we can break it, then we can basically look for some trade idea on that. Okay. I think British pound is also not bad. British pound did break above this high, and then we've traded it down. So that's also not bad to start looking into that with the potential reversal on on the dollar index. Okay. Eurocard did reject nicely, so beautiful members in the portal will have a very nice trade idea on that. But let's go over to cryptos because they send the cryptos down aggressively, which again, I am not, I would say I'm not sure of how CPI affects the market. I think this is the first time I'm seeing it. So yes, going forward, CPI can affect the the cryptocurrencies. So now I'll be aware of it because this is my first time experiencing the CPI with the currencies. I'm sorry, with the crypto market. So going forward, CPI can affect it. So I'll be warning, our crypto traders to be aware of CPI. Okay. So that means the trade idea that I gave here will get stopped out. Now, does that mean it's going to come and attack this long? Well, if it goes down, like I was saying, it's going to be aggressive. So unless we get the reversal on the dollar index, and if we do get a reversal on the dollar index, I don't know how it's going to affect the crypto market. Okay, so I'm not fully convinced yet that we are going down. Unless maybe today closes bearish, then I'll be convinced. If not, then I'm not convinced that we're going down. Okay. Remember, any movement to the downside can be a manipulation because of the wick on the weekly time frame. So don't be fooled by any big move that happens to the downside. All right. Okay. Let's look at tattoo and then because I don't want to miss this gold potential if it's going to go up, potential entry plus the GBP potential reversal. I want us to monitor them on a 5 minutes chart, right, till maybe the end of the session. So let's look at tattoo quickly, and then we come back and look at gold and GBP USD. Okay. Give me 1 second. Bring the tattoo. How do we pronounce the second one? Because I'm not sure about the second one. I need to I need to memorize the name. Igor. Is Mr. Igor around? Okay. I think Mr. Igor is a little bit busy. So let me bring up. So Tatsuo, we still don't have anything yet. Um, between yesterday and today, nothing has really happened. On the H4, nothing has really happened. Um, did give a day trade, I think, yesterday to go up here, and that was about it. So right now, maybe stay away from a day trade long, but a day trade short could be possible to attack this equal long. So they've taken out previous day's high over there. Okay, this high has been taken. They did close above it, but not convincingly. This week does not confirm that we actually closed above it. It's too much of a rejection on the H4 here, trading through this gap. So we are likely to trade to this candle's high and then attack this low. They will attack this equal low. So I'm not really going to concern myself with this down candle. If you are a trader on this, look for a sell to attack the equal low. And then after that, sit on your hands and wait. I can't pronounce the name. I wish I could, but I can't. Because it's not pronounced the same way as it's spelled over here. But whatever it is, like I said, I'm not convinced we're going higher yet. So move back down to form the proper buying pattern is what you'll be waiting for. So again, between yesterday and today, nothing has really happened. On the lower time frame, I think a sell would be the best idea, okay, to attack this low and that low again. So nothing really going on in terms of buys, but only sells on the tattoo and this one. All right. Now let's go back and look at gold and because I think I think I'm expecting them to give a potential trade idea on gold and GBP USD. Let's look at gold. The up candle. We need them to trade above it now on dollar index, that down candle. If I think when we went away, they did put in the sell pattern over here on the 1 minute chart, right? So that would have been a nice rejection, and then, but I would still prefer this down candle to be broken, right? But they've given one here, so that could have been an entry. And if you go into the GBP euro, I think they buy also in the euro. You see we have the up movement down and then the rejection. And that's a breaker or a mitigation block. So again, nice level to anticipate a reversal from there. I think I prefer GU. This one is much safer. And the reason is we do have this low and that low, and then we broke that high. So GU is much safer. So another entry over here with your stop below this candle's low, and then expecting them to go back up. All right. So yeah, I don't know if Mr. Ego is around.
Hey, yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, I was shouting your name earlier.
Oh, I stepped away for a moment. Everything's okay?
I was trying to remember the name for uh, the other, this one.
Oh, tchotchke.
Chachki, that's it.
Tchotchke, yeah.
I didn't remember how
Okay,
to
okay.
pronounce it, so I was looking for you to help me pronounce it.
Apologies. Yeah, I stepped away. I was like refilling my coffee or something probably.
Okay, okay, that's all right. Um, so we are kind of at the moment monitoring um, gold and GU for a potential trade idea. So on gold, we want to see price break this up candle, and then we can look for a trade idea. And then GU, we want to see the same pattern form, and then we can look for a trade idea to go up, because I think we might be rejecting that high on the dollar index. We might reject this high. This move, I think, is fake. So we have about 10 minutes to go, and I want us to just observe and see how gold is going to do it over here. Is that okay?
I'm okay with it. You?
Yeah, yeah, I'm good. Let's see.
Yeah. I don't know if you were asking me or everybody else.
No, I was asking you, just in case, I don't talk, because when I'm watching price, right, I prefer to observe and look at what it's doing so that I make decisions in my head. That's why when I'm observing price, I don't like to talk. So in case I go quiet, someone might be thinking, what the heck? That's what I'm saying. Anyway,
Oh,
cool. So we're observing it.
nice.
All right. Whilst we're doing that, let me go to the Euro Aussie because I think it's screaming towards our level. So we are heading for that area. Now, once we get there, we want to see, we drop down to the 5 minutes chart, and then the same thing. We want to see price giving us a reversal pattern. Okay.
And you got a sell limit place there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
So let's see. The Eurocard did amazing. Um, I actually got two entries on this. The first one, so when I was watching price on I think it was on a 5 minutes chart. I was cooking. If I'll be honest with you, I was cooking. I was cooking something for my sister. My sister is coming
Nice.
around later, so I was cooking something for her. So when price got here, right, and then this drop, I sold short, but I still had my sell limit up there just in case I miss it. Then I went away. And then by the time I came back, it actually went up and took out my actual entry because the entry was here. But when it started doing this, I didn't want to miss it because I was going to cook. So I got an entry here and then another entry up there. And then you can see
Nice.
that nice rejection. So fingers crossed they can stay there and then send price for this equal low. Okay, let's move back to, let's look at that one. Okay, that is heading for it. Let's see, gold. I think euro is not bad. Euro is on the 1 minute, it's not bad. But I don't like using 1 minute time frame for a buy pattern. It's just too low of a time frame. I prefer five. Five is good. So if you're using the five, then you might say that's the up, that's the down. So someone somewhere bought a lot over here, and that drop. If it's a buy, then they did actually buy a lot. So let's see if it's true. Going back to gold. We've got about 35 minutes, I'm sorry, 35 seconds before this one ends. We want to see, or we want to expect price to close above it. And then we can start looking for the buy, right? So when I think this is, we're watching this live. When I say have the location and then wait for the pattern to form, this is exactly what I mean. Instead of you buying as it's dropping, because you don't know whether it's going to go down or it's going to reverse and go up. But when they place a pattern like this at the level and they start giving you the rejection, then that is a confirmation, because they are not going to buy without that pattern. It's impossible, absolutely impossible. So if they are going to buy here, then it will form a pattern, right? A buy pattern. And you can see that, right? I would have wanted this candle to close up above it, but it didn't. Let's see if this one can. Um, it's not bad buying here. I wouldn't buy it right now because they did not leave any gap. Usually, I would have preferred them leaving like a gap so that if we come back down, that gap can hold price. But since they did not leave any gap, I'm not a fan of it. So I really want them to close so I can be confident and then place my stop loss below this candle, the low of that candle, or even this candle here, because I'll be protected by the inverted fair value gap, which would be this one right here. Okay, so let's see and check British pound again. Okay, British pound 5 minutes is not bad. Look at dollar index again. That is so beautiful. I can't believe it. I can't believe my eyes. Now, if price rejects and comes all the way back down, that should tell you something. Okay, if you're listening and watching, if price reject this high, which I think that's what it's supposed to do, and then comes all the way back down, that should tell you something. And what should it be telling you? It should be telling you that this market is absolutely controlled. Okay, it's absolutely controlled, because how on earth do you send price up like that and don't continue going up and then you come back down again, right? So then you begin to start investigating. How do they do it? Why? What's the reason behind it? What's the motive behind it? Because we're supposed to send it down. So if you send it up and then you start rejecting, it means the whole move that was sent up is manipulation, was done on purpose, right? So there you go. But again, in all things, I like confirmations. So let's get the confirmation, which is that 1 minute down candle there. If we lose that, that's it. It's game over. We're gonna come all the way back down again. So this 1 minute down candle, right? If we lose that, that's game over. We're gonna come reject all these big move that happened. That is almost 40 pips in 1 minute. Okay, so I was ranting and missed good. We've not actually missed it, but it's breaking. So we can basically look for. Now, if you are, let's go to the higher time frame. If you are a long-term trader or a short-term trader, this low to this high, you buy at OTE, which is basically 70.5 right here, because that's where the level is. And you get sniper entry like this. But if you don't want to, then you sit and wait for confirmation because you will get the same thing. So this candle breaking, if you're using the M15, you get the same pattern over here. That up, that move down, and then currently they're gonna break that. That same thing is on the 5 minutes, which is here. That up, that down, and then that rejection. So as a trader, you decide which time frame you want to use. I think on the 1 minute we didn't get it. But if we did get it on the 1 minute, then you decide whether you want to use the 1 minute, the 5 minutes, the 15 minutes, or even the hour, because they're all going to be doing the same thing. And it's fractal, price is fractal. I don't think we had it on the 1 hour. Let's see on the H4. Not on the H4. So I think M15 looks perfect for this in terms of time frames. So close above this, leaving a fair value gap. That's it. And then you start aiming for somewhere up here. And then above that high. All right. And GU hopefully will reject. Let me see if I can find a level on GU. Let's do this. I have so many levels on there that
By the way,
makes.
that Euro AUD is almost coming up on that limit.
Yeah, I'm coming in a second. I wanna hide all these drawings. So we have this, and that. So that's the two levels I want the pattern to form. Okay, so let's go and check. All right, that's a nice level. Let's see if on the 5 minute chart we'll get our pattern to form. I'm not. What was the word I was going to say? I like the way it's approaching it, right? So we have on the 1 hour we have this down, then this one. So that's looking good so far. If we were to drop down to the 5, I like the way it's approaching it. And then if you had to look at the 1, so I will start from the 1, right? And then start counting. So we have a down candle here, we have this up. So what's going to happen in here, right? Are we going to reject? Because if we start rejecting, then we'll be watching this 1 minute down candle to break. Now, this is how I managed to, in a way.
Hey, it's activated.
Sorry.
Oh, sorry. I'll just letting you know it just activated.
Okay. So this is how I managed to I would say, what's the word? Uh, Reverse engineer price, right? Because if it's going to reverse, okay, I'm super convinced that the pattern will be there, right? So if the pattern is going to be there, then when price is approaching it, you have to start watching from the lower time frame. Because if it's going to be there, then it will start printing the signature price. Okay, so on the 1 minute, on the 5 minutes, on the 15, you want to start sifting through this price, this time frame. Because if it's going to reverse, guarantee is going to be there. If it's not there, that means you need to be careful. So for example, if this 1 minute time frame was all up candles approaching it, I will not sell. If I'm sitting in front of the screen, I will not sell it because it's not printing the pattern that will be used to reverse price. But if it's approaching it and it's not printing that pattern, yes, then I'll be confident that we will potentially get the reversal from that level. Okay, it's just, I don't know, it's common sense. Um, but and I got the idea from the trade ideas that I used to give back then, because when I was giving a trade idea, most of the time price will come to the level and then it will stop people out. And it was getting frustrating. I was getting frustrated. I wanted to find out how can I make it better. So what I ended up doing was if I give the trade idea, I'll tell you if you are not going to be in front of the screen, then place a sell limit. But if you will be, then don't. Just sit and watch price because if the reversal is going to come, you will see it forming. Okay. Then again, that's why I'm not really against signals, but I'm all for giving you a signal and teaching you as well so that you
Hmm.
understand what's happening.
Yeah, exactly. Nice.
So let's go back and watch gold. Right. So at this point, I think gold will probably resume going up. I like the rejection, nice and aggressive. So we should expect gold to continue going up unless Mr. Trump comes in and says something different, then we might get something different. And I think it's gone past 2 already. So hopefully I've managed to give you something today.
Oh, every day, absolute fire. You know that? Yep.
All right.
Well,
So that'll be it
if
from
you
me
have,
today.
okay, cool. Yeah, I was gonna say if you have any closing thoughts, otherwise, why don't we just shut it down?
All right. All right. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys. We'll see you same time tomorrow.
Thank you very much, IT, and thanks everybody. See you tomorrow.